You want to know what's pretty interesting? The most dire consequences and catastrophic problems that we have faced as a society around the entire world have always been done by one person or by one minuscule problem. Now, before I go into the most complex part of this iceberg, I think it is very important that we should start off with something simple as Chernobyl. Why do I consider Chernobyl simple? Well, first things first, it was a catastrophic event that literally caused everyone to move. And not only that, but it caused Europe's cancer number to actually skyrocket because of the radiation fallout. Now, a lot of people could say this started because of a corrupt politician. And yes, that is true, because he refused to ignore the fact that the reactor had a problem with it. And if he would have just listened to that worker simply saying, hey, we got a problem, we shouldn't be running the reactor right now, it would have been completely avoided. But because of his greed, and because he was so focused on just getting this reactor running, they went with it. And then the Chernobyl incident happened. If he would have just listened to the workers telling him there's something wrong, and he would have taken the situation seriously, we would have never had Chernobyl and people would still be living there in Pripyat. Now that we're ready and we see where I'm at, we're ready to move on to the more complex side. It has come to my attention that there was one guy who was rejected from art school that had the whack-ass ideas, and you go to his entire book, Mein Kampf, and you start reading about how he was thinking, his mindset, and people genuinely thought this guy was a genius. They in fact believed, oh, this guy is so great with his ideas, let's vote him into office. And you wanna know why that is? We see it today. We see it as a big problem. People are easily influenced by evil ideas or evil people in general. We see this with the girls fangirling over serial killers. We see this with people following horrible people such as Epstein, or people following Trump or Biden or all these politicians, and we're easily influenced by them. If we were to take a step back and treat the smallest situations firsthand instead of having them grow into a bigger problem, life would be far more easier than it is today. But instead, humankind wants to go ahead and simply say, oh, it's not my problem, doesn't seem like a big deal, okay, let's brush it off. And then next thing you know, we turn around, we're dealing with war, we're dealing with famine, we're dealing with poverty, we're dealing with economic declines, we're dealing with a bunch of webs that we created ourselves. If people were more likely to think for themselves instead of being influenced, we would have a peaceful world.